Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. So inshallah, we are almost about to complete our numbers. And these numbers are very important because there is a huge variety, alhamdulillah, in these numbers. And we have completed, yesterday we completed up to, I remember this part, miyatun wa alfun. And we remember that murattabuhu alfu dolarin, his salary is $1,000, and akhadtu alfa dolarin minhu, and ishtaraytuhu bi alfi dolarin. So what do you remember about the number 1,000? That the number 1,000 is used as mudaf, and the madud is used as mudaf ilayh, and that is always singular and majroor. For example, alfu dolarin, alfu realin, 1,000 reals, $1,000. And also we have seen that the word alfu, which is 1,000, or alfan, is also flexible. So here we can see it is marfu', murattabuhu alfu dolarin, it is marfu', and here it is akhadtu alfa dolarin minhu, here it is mansub, and ishtaraytuhu bi alfi dolarin, here it is majroor. So it will be marfu with dhamma, and then mansub with fatha, and majroor bil kasra. All right. Miyata and alfa. What do you remember about miyata and alfa? These numbers. Is it how we read them, or something has been omitted?
Miyatani
and alfani. Excellent. So these are basically ani sound is for the dual, and when there is a madud after them, then the noon gets dropped, as we can see here. Ujratuhu alfa realin. So it was basically alfani realin, but what happened here? Noon gets dropped when the madud is mentioned. So ujratuhu alfa realin, his wages are 2,000 reals. And also alfa is flexible because all the numbers that are dual, they are all flexible. Every down that comes on the pattern of ani, aini, that means it is flexible. For example, muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini, muslimatani, muslimataini, kitabani, kitabaini, qalamani, qalamaini. Similarly, we have alfaini, but again, if you remember here, we discussed that in alfaini, the same. In alfani, the noon gets dropped, and in alfaini, also the noon gets dropped when the madud is mentioned. So it is ma yuridu alfay realin. I don't want. He wants, 2,000 reals. Ma yuridu alfa realin. He does not want 2,000 reals. Yeah, ma yuridu, he doesn't want. So it was alfaini, and the noon has been dropped because the madud is mentioned after that. So it becomes alfay instead of alfaini realin. Ya'malu bi alfay realin. He works for 2,000 reals. So it was alfaini again, and the noon has been dropped, and the ya remains over there. So ya'malu bi alfay realin. He works for 2,000 reals. Okay, that one up till here, inshallah, it's clear. And now we have to get into 300 and onwards. Let's see how much further can we go. So 300 to 900. In these numbers, the word miyatin is majroor because it is mudaf ilayh. So for example, we have thalathu miyatin, and similarly arba'atu miyatin, khamsu miyatin, sittu miyatin. So here we have, it is like joint, it's murakkab. It's a combination of two words together into one. And the first one will change according to the amil, whatever the position it has. And miyatin will always be majroor. And why it is majroor? Because it is used as mudaf ilayh. Excellent. So the mudaf takes the case required in the sentence. We know that mudaf is always subject to the change. Mudaf is always subject to the change. It will change according to the situation in the sentence, whereas mudaf alayh, we know, is always majroor. Okay, so now we can see here عندي 300 ريال. I have 300 reals, so it's 300 ريال. And we know that it is miyati. Why it is miyati? Because mudaf ilayh. It is mudaf ilayh, and then after that, the noun that is used is also mudaf ilayh. So basically, miyati is in the middle. Okay, when mudaf ilayh is in the middle, when it is in the middle, it will only take kasra. And if you remember one example, maliki yawmi ad-dini. Okay, malik is mudaf, yawm is both. It is mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So when it is both mudaf or mudaf alayh, then it will take only kasra, and then the last noun will take kasratain or kasra. So whenever we have long mudaf alayh construction, so the first one will be with dhamma or fatha or kasra, but the one that comes after that will take only kasra, 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 and the last one will take kasratain, or maybe it will take one kasra. So Maliki, Yawmi, Ad-Dini, Maliki, Yawmi, Ad-Din. Malik is Mudaf, Yawmi is both Mudaf, Mudaf alayh. That's why it has only Kasra. And then Ad-Dini, because it has Al and it has also Kasra as well. So as you can see here, Indi, Thalathu Miyati, Riyalin. So Thalathu is Mudaf, Miyati is Mudaf alayh. And also it is in the middle. So as we discussed now, that if it is in the middle, then it will take only kasra, it will not take kasratain. And the last noun will be majroor, it will take kasratain. So in the thalathu miyati riyalin, I have 300 riyals. Uridu thalatha miyati riyalin, I want 300 riyals. Okay, now here it is thalathu. You see, it's with dhamma. But here it is thalatha. Why is that? Exactly, because uridu, I want. So uridu has both verb and file. So thalatha is mudaf, and we have discussed that mudaf will change according to the amil, according to the word that comes before it. That is called amil, okay? So basically uridu, I want is the amil, and thalatha miyati, 300 riyals, I want 300 riyals. Ishtaraytuhu bi 300 riyalin. Now it is thalathi. Why it is thalathi? Because of B. We know harf jar. Yeah, so it has become ishtaraytuhu, I bought it for 300 riyals. So it will be thalathu miyati riyalin, thalatha miyati riyalin, and bi thalathi miyati riyalin. So thalathu miyati is one construction, and then ma'dud will be always majroor, and it will be singular, as we can see here. So in the 300 riyalin, uridu 300 riyalin, and ishtaraytuhu bi 300 riyalin. Note that 800 is originally 800. This is ismul manqus, so ya always gets dropped, and the ya has been omitted. So the ni in the word, this word remains unchanged. So it is 800 riyalin, which is 800 riyals. The word alfu, what do you remember about the word alfu? Or alfun, I should say. Alfun means 1,000.
Yeah. After so there comes mudaf.
Yeah, it's used as mudaf, and the noun that follows it will be mudaf.
Comes after it in mudaf and singular.
And singular, perfect. Okay, now we should also know that alfu has plural as well. Alfun, and the plural is alafun. Alfun, and the plural is alafun. So when we use it in the construction, we will use it, if needed, we will use it as a plural as well. So if you see here, the word alfu may be a number and a madud at the same time. So what it can be a number and madud at the same time. So thalathatu alafi riyalin, 3,000 riyals. Now you remember the construction from 3 to 10? The construction from 3 to 10 is always used as
construction, and it is plural, and it is
opposite in gender. In gender, yeah, okay. So if we have only 3,000, it will be thalathatu alafin, because alfun is originally masculine because it doesn't have any feminine. So that's why it's masculine. Similarly, the riyalun is masculine because it doesn't have any feminine. So if you remember, like for a noun to be feminine, it has to have some specific signs. For example, ta marbuta,
alif mamduda,
alif mamduda, alif maksura,
maksura,
or
ta
ta marbuta, or it should have opposite.
So the Arab said so.
The Arab said so, and it should have opposite counterpart. For example,
yes,
man,
the body
woman,
parts, the pairs.
The body parts in pairs as well, and also the original masculine and feminine, like man and woman, mother and father, son and daughter. The original nouns, of course, we know them, and they are called, and they have the same counterpart or the opposite counterpart. Yes.
Not mijaz.
Yes. So thalathatu alafi riyalin. So thalathatu alafi is basically 3,000, and it is used the same as numbers from 3 to 10. So that's why we have thalathatu alafi. And riyalin is used as madud, and alafi riyalin itself, the complete construction is used as we have seen here, it is used as madud. So alafi riyalin. So alafi is majroor because of thalathatu alafi, and riyalin is majroor because we have discussed today that a construction may consist of more than two mudaf alayh. For example, thalathatu is mudaf, alafi is mudaf alayh, but at the same time it is mudaf. At the same time it is mudaf. It is mudaf for what? For riyalin. Yeah, so that's why if we have 2 or 3 mudaf alayh, we have to focus only on the last one, that the last one will take kasra, and whatever comes before it, it will be only with kasra. We will not add anything else. It will be only kasra, kasra, kasra. Thalathatu alafi riyalin, 3,000 riyals. Then we have sittatu ashara alfa riyalin. But when we go to the numbers like here we have 16,000. So you remember the numbers from 13 to 19. 13 to 19. When we have the numbers from 13 to 19, the madud will
the first two numbers.
Yeah.
The first will disagree, and the second part will agree.
As we can see here, alf is mudhakkar. So that's why the number that we have is mu'annath. Alf is like masculine. So
the number is mabni al-fath, Ustad.
Excellent. It's mabni al-fath. So as we can see here, sittata ashara alfa, they are all mabni al-fath. And riyalin is the unit, so the unit will be.
Your alpha is also mabni al-alfa, Ustad?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because it's here, it's used as the madud. So sittata ashara is.
Here the 3 components will be mabni al-alfa. In that it was only 2 components.
Yes,
is it?
Yeah, because we know that the numbers from 13 to 19, 2 parts are mabni al-fath, right? Ahada ashara, they are mabni al-fath. And then kawkaban, as we have that example from the Quran, madud will be always singular and it will be mansub. However, here it's a little bit like different, because here we have alpha and after that we have riyalin. Why we have riyalin? Because we know that alf is also itself, it's used as mudaf. So the noun that will be that follows it will be mudaf ilayh. You know, for example, you want to say 1,000. Yeah, it's like riyalin is basically, it's here, it's in the place of mansub.
It's a majroor.
Yeah, okay, but it has become a majroor because alpha has like alf 1,000. The noun that comes after that, we know that it is always singular and it is always majroor.
So how will we say the Iraq? This one, Ustad, sittata ashra alfa. How will we say the Iraq? Sittata ashra alfa mabni al-alfath.
Sittata ashra is mabni al-fath, and here madud is always mansub. You remember the madud is always mansub. Yeah. So alpha is mansub. So alfa riyalin, basically the whole construction is mansub. The whole construction, because alfa riyalin is a complete construction, right? So it's in the place of mahallan, it is mansub, whereas we can see that alf is mansub, however riyalin is majroor. And why riyalin is majroor? Because the noun or the word that comes after alf, it has to be singular and it has to be majroor. 16,000 riyals, sittata ashara alfa riyalin, 16,000 riyals. So sittata ashara is 16 alfa 1,000, and riyalin is the unit which is ma'dud. Sittata ashara alfa. I think this is the most, complicated, as we can see here, construction of the numbers. And the reason is because from 13 to 19, they will be mabni al-fath. So sittat ashara, they are mabni al-fath. Then if we have sittat ashara kitaban, it's easier. We know there are 16 books. But if we want to say 16,000 books or 16,000 reals, then we have to bring in alpha, which is mansub. However, we know that the noun that follows.
Now I got it to start. When instead of this, the whole alpha real and the whole construction will be under the mahal mansub.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Okay, I got it now.
It's not only alpha, it's complete construction, which is alpha realan, because you know, alf is not used alone. Alf is always used with ma'dood. For example, we say alfu talibin, and we have the construction in Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadri khayru min alfi shahrin. Alfi shahrin, right? So this alf has always ma'dood, which is always singular and which is always majroor. So here realan is majroor because of alpha. However, alpha realan is in the place of mansub. I hope it's clear now.
Yes, Ustad.
Yes, Ustad.
But in what is it? In
Yes, which surah? Then we have 30,000 riyals. We know that the number that we use for 30 is thalathuna. So it's very simple. Thalathuna alfa riyalin, 30,000 riyals. So we distribute it into two parts. 30, we know the translation of 30 is thalathuna, and if you have alfa riyalin, it will be simply alfa riyalin, thalathuna alfa riyalin, 30,000 riyals. So this one is easy. So we translate 30 first, and then if you have 1,000 riyals, so you will say thalathuna alfa riyalin. There are many messages, singular, simply. 100,000 riyals. What's the Arabic of 100? Miyatu.
100 miyatu.
And 1,000 riyals? Alfi riyalin. So 1,000 riyals, miyatu alfi riyalin. 1,000 riyals. Now we know that miyatu is always used as mudaf, and alfi is majroor because it is used as mudaf alayh, and riyalin is majroor because it is used for alfi. So miyatu alfi riyalin, 1,000 riyals. All of them, miyatu is mudaf, alfi is mudaf alayh, and riyalin is mudaf alayh. And if you remember, we discussed today that when we have more than one mudaf alayh, it will take only kasra. So miyatu is mudaf, alfi is mudaf alayh, and at the same time it is mudaf, and riyalin is mudaf alayh. Miyatu alfi riyalin, 1,000 riyals. So the Arabic for 100 is miyatu, and the Arabic for 1,000 is alfi, and then we have riyalin, so it becomes 100,000 riyals, miyatu alfi riyalin. In these examples, the word alfun or alafun is madud. It is used as madud with regard to the previous numbers, and it is a number with regard to the word following it. Okay, what is this here now? If the number is mudaf, it has no tanween when the mudaf is mentioned, and has tanween when the mudaf is not, when mudaf is omitted. Okay. Kam riyalan indaka, yeah, when madud is omitted. Kam riyalan indaka, how many riyals do you have? So you can say it in two ways. Either you say in the asharatu riyalatin, and yesterday we had a debate about it, why it has become riyalatin, because riyal is masculine, but we discussed yesterday that if it is irrational being, it is ghayr aqil. So it can have two possibly plurals. One is it follows a specific wazn, like babun, and we have abwabun, and nafidatun, nawafid, if you remember those. But if it doesn't have any specific plural, then it comes on the pattern of mu'annath, jama, mu'annath, thalim, which is riyalatun, riyalatin, riyalatin. So either you will say in the asharatu riyalatin, I have 10 riyals, or you say in the asharatun, yani I have 10. So it's up to you. Either you say, normally what we say, in the ashara, khalas, yani we don't really say.
So they want to tell something.
Yes,
because
yes.
all irrational plurals, automatically they will become feminine when they are plural. So we have to see the original word, how it is, whether it is masculine, and then give the construction, whether to add the ta marbuta. You mean to say that, Ustad?
Yes, yes. So if the original noun, we have
Because
to look
all
at that.
irrational words or irrational things will become plural, right, Ustad?
Yes, and when we make plural, that plural is considered as singular feminine.
Feminine, yeah,
Yes.
feminine. But we have to look whether real is in the singular form, whether it is masculine or feminine, and then we have to give the construction the ta marbuta or not, Ustad,
Or
like
not.
that.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now realun, it's masculine. Why it is masculine, by the way?
There's no ta marbuta.
Yeah, if it doesn't have any counterpart, doesn't have like any feminine for that, doesn't have ta marbuta, doesn't have alif maqsura, doesn't have alif mamduda. So if you remember that the four things that define that four things, by default every noun is masculine. So whenever you look at something for the first time, you take it as masculine. Then if you want it to be feminine, then we have to look for the reasons why it is feminine. The biggest reason to know a noun, whether it is masculine or feminine, is ta marbuta. Ta marbuta tells us that this is feminine. For example, sayyaratun, or it's the name of a feminine person, for example, Fatimatu, right? If it doesn't have any of these two, then we have to see if it has alif mamduda, for example, sahra'u, sama'u. So if it has alif and hamza after that, that means it's feminine. Or it can have alif maqsura, for example, kubra, sughra. So kubra, sughra, they have alif. Yeah. So they have alif maqsura. So these are the things that will tell us if it is a feminine or not. If we don't find these things, that means the noun is masculine. So realun is masculine because it does not have any of these signs or any of these things that we have talked about. بكم اشتريت هذه الساعة? For how much did you buy this watch? Either you say بألف ريال or you say بألف يا أخي. So when you mention ريال, then it will be complete construction بألف ريال. Or you say بألف, that means 1,000 ريالز. So كم ريالا تريد؟ أريد 20,000 ريال. Or you say 20,000 يا أخي, I want 20,000 riyals. So the same thing, either you say 20,000 riyal in complete construction, or you say incomplete construction, which is 20,000. And basically this part, the second part that we see here, which is after or, that is basically more like for speaking rather than writing. So it's like in everyday conversation, we don't really say بألف ريال, and we simply say ألف or ألفين, بألفين, that's it. And similarly, we don't say أريد 20,000 ريالا, simply we say 20,000, and that's it, 1,000 to 20,000 riyals. We have reached the end, alhamdulillah. Now we have the biggest number here, 6,543. Now, 6,543 what? Riyalin, okay? So we have to look at the ma'dud. If the ma'dud is masculine, then it will be opposite to the first number, and the first number will be feminine. As we have discussed now that real is masculine, so that's why the first number is feminine. So what is the first number? Thalathatun. It's very simple. In Arabic, the best way to count is to start from the last number.
The back.
The back, that's right. Because it starts, this is how it starts. It's opposite to English. The way we start writing English from the left.
But they say in both the ways to start sometimes. They say in both the ways, right? So it is sometimes confusing in which.
Oh, when they speak, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's difficult to figure out. Even now myself, like after 15 years, sometimes I get confused because they don't follow any pattern with the numbers. That's the problem. And to be honest, our main target is to be able to understand Quran and the Hadith. So the numbers, these numbers that we
traditionally it is read from back.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, that's right. So the numbers that we are learning here are the real numbers that when you need to write maybe some numbers sometimes. So how will you write? Because they speak in a different way. But when we write in a proper way. And also we have to follow the Quran as well. And they have occurred in the Quran in the proper way. So we have Thalathatun, which is 3. Then we have 40. The Arabic for 40 is Arba'una. We know that. Then we have 500, which is Khamsatu Miyatin. And then we have sittatu alafi riyalin, 6,000 riyals. So the Arabic for 6,000 riyals is sittatu alafi riyalin. So thalathatun wa arba'una wa khamsumiyatin wa sittatu alafi riyalin, 6,543 riyals. Okay, such numbers have not occurred in the Quran, so it's up to you. If you want to put some extra effort, then you have to write them down. There is no way to learn the numbers unless we write them down. If you don't write them down, it's impossible to learn the numbers. Or you live somewhere in the Middle East and you listen to the people, but when they speak in a completely different way. For example, look at the numbers. For example, we say ahada ashara. They never say ahada ashara, they say ahdash. And then we say ithna ashara, they say itnash. And then when you say thalathat ashara, they say thalatash, arbatash, khamsatash, then it's completely destroyed, to be honest, the Arabic. So if we go through and try to find the numbers through this, it will be difficult to see what they are saying. So that's not what our target is. Our target is to learn and to be able to understand the text of the Quran. And if the madud is feminine, for example, rubiyatin is feminine. Why rubiyatin is feminine, by the way? Marbuta, excellent. So we will start from the same thalathan, which is 3. Then we have arba'una, which is 40. It is 43 is covered. Then we have to cover 500, which is khamsumiyatin. And then we have to cover 6,000, which is sittatu alafi rubiyatin. Thalathan wa arba'una wa khamsumiyatin wa sittatu alafi rubiyatin. If you speak like this, it's like a complete story, like looks like. Yeah. So it's just for 6,543, but when we see it in Arabic, it's thalathan wa arba'una wa khamsumiyatin wa sittatu alafi rubiyatin. Okay, now I guess we can go to the book and complete whatever is left. And then inshallah we will, the document that we have about the numbers in the Quran, inshallah, we will talk about that. So yesterday we completed here up to miyatani, as you can see here. So miyatani is used for 200, but we remember that after miyatani, if we have the madud, then the noon gets dropped. And the example is here in front of you. Miyata talibin wa miyata talibatin. And you know that miyatun and miyata, this is used for, it doesn't change according to the number. Madud, it remains as it is. We will not change it. We will not put ta marbuta with miyatun or miyatani. We will not change it. We will only see the madud, and madud is talibin or talibatin. Both of them can be used with 100 and 200. And today we have learned that for 300, it will be thalathumiyati talibin, 300 students. And similarly, arba'umiyati talibin, khamsumiyati talibin or talibatin, it's the same for both. Sittumiyati talibin or talibatin, sab'umiyati talibin or talibatin, thamanimiyati talibin or talibatin. And then we have tis'umiyati talibin or talibatin. And then we have alfu talibin. You remember 1,000? 1,100? Yes, what do you remember about 1,100?
Mudafil.
Yeah, so it will be used as, whether it is 1,000 or 2,000, it will be used as mudaf and the noon will be dropped. So for 2,000, the noon gets dropped and it becomes alfa talibin or alfa talibatin, 2,000 students. So whether the students are masculine or feminine, they will be singular and they will be majroor, as we can see here. They are singular and they are majroor. So alfa talibin or talibatin will be 2,000 masculine students or 2,000 feminine students. However, from 3,000, as we have seen, then for 3,000, the first two parts are the same as the numbers from 3 to 10. So thalathatu alafi, and then alafi is used as mudaf, and then the one that follows it is used mudaf alayh. So it is basically thalathatu alafi talibin or talibatin, 3,000 students.
So the gender of the number is different than what it is for miyata.
The miyatu doesn't change, as we discussed today, that the 100 will not change. It will be miyatu or it will be miyata or miyati. according to the amil, whatever we have before it. But it will always
Like,
remain as, yes?
I just wanted to ask, like Salatu Miyati, and if it's for 1,000, then it will be Salasatu Alafi.
Yeah, alaf is different, yeah. Alf,
Okay.
like 1,000 is different, and miyatu is different. So as we can see here, so it's thalathatu alafi talibin, 3,000 students, or talibatin, for both it's the same. And it goes up to 9,000, and then we reach 10,000, which is asharatu alafi talibin or talibatin. So it continues up to khamsatu alafi talibin, sittatu alafi talibin, sab'atu alafi talibin, thamaniyatu alafi talibin, tis'atu alafi talibin, and asharatu alafi talibin or talibatin. We can add both talibin or talibatin up to 10,000. Then we have 20,000. So ishruna, as we have seen, ishruna and then alfa talibin. So alfa talibin means 1,000 and ishruna means 20. So it will be 20,000 students. Ishruna alfa talibin. Thalathuna, arbauna, khamsuna, it goes up to 90,000, and then we reach 100,000. 100,000 is,
Yeah, this
Miyatu.
alpha,
yes,
Ustad, after Ishruna, there is alpha. So it is in the Mahal Mansub, Ustad.
it will be used as
This one?
mansub. It's not in the place of mansub, it is used as mansub. After ishruna, thalathuna, arbauna, as we can see here, it is mansub.
Okay.
And we have here 100,000. So 100 miyatu, and we know that miyatu is always used as madaf. Then alfi is madaf ilayh, and both madaf
I think
madaf
we can
ilayh.
stop here, Ustad. Little bit, it's confusing.
Yeah, that's-
Confusing.
It's finished.
Yes, Ustad, we have gone too much.
Yeah, I think this is the end of it. Khalas.
No, till that number, it was everything clear. 6543, some number was there, Ustad. Till there, it was very clear.
So
But
that
now,
number is here.
again, we recall.
Actually, what
Okay.
happened is that was in English, and that was basically the handouts. So handouts are easier, but when we get into the real Arabic, then it gets a little bit difficult. So we have we have completed up to here in the handouts. So it's up to you. If you want to do it by yourselves, you can do it by yourselves. Or if
No, this 20,000 we covered there, Ustad. This
no,
20,000.
we covered up to 6,543.
No,
This is the same number.
This 20,000, 5,000, 20,000 was not there, Ustad. In that 60,000, it was there. I don't think so.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, till 20,000, 30,000 it's there, but this one is getting complicated.
If we know up to 20,000, then 30,000 should be easier, isn't it? But here we have 100,000.
This 1 lakh, 1 lakh.
1 lakh, yeah, we
this
started from
100,000 is
100,000.
little bit confusing, Ustad. Yeah.
100 is miyatu, 1,000 is alf, miyatu alfi talibin, that's it. I mean, if it's confusing, we can stop here, but inshallah. when
Okay,
we come
after
back-
Mia, there is Mudafilai. So the whole construction is under Mudafilai. You may
That's
say
right,
that.
yeah, because miyatu is used as mudaf. Alfi is both mudaf, mudaf ilayh, and we know that the noun that follows alfi will be always mudaf ilayh. So I think this is the easiest of all of them, miyatu alfi talibin, 1,000 students.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sure, please.
So in when we see in Quran, it's used it as Miati Alfin. So is it the same thing?
Well, inshallah, we are going to the end. We have
Okay.
taken the numbers from the Quran, and that one, inshallah, will be easier to relate it to. So we are almost done with the book. I mean, up to 6,543, and we have done the handouts as well. So inshallah, now we can go to that document, which is the original document. And
Sir, can you speak about this 3 lakh and 4 lakh? How is it? 1 lakh and 2 lakh.
100,000 is
Yeah, 100
near
and
to Alfi.
200,000 is clear. But how about 3 lakh and speak tomorrow?
Yes, inshallah. As you said, like it's getting confusing. So, and some other sisters also, and I don't know some of the participants. So inshallah, we can continue. So in the Quran, we have covered up to numbers 1 and 2. We have covered as well, right? And from 3 to 10 also we covered yesterday. The last example that we did was سَخَّرَهَا عَلَيْهِمْ سَبْعَ لَيَالٍ وَثَمَانِيَةَ أَيَّامٍ حُسُومًا. So we covered up to 10, right? 1, 2, and 3 to 10. And now we see the numbers from 11 to 12. 11 to 12 numbers, as we know that the numbers, they are used as murakkab, they are used as construction. And
Mabni.
11 will be mabni al-fath, but 12 is not, yeah? 12 will change, and we will see here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إذ قال يوسف لأبيه. Okay, لأبيه. You remember? Abu, Aba, Abi. So it is Abi because of li. Ya Abati, you remember this construction? Ya Abati, inni ra'aytu. Indeed, I saw. Ahada ashara kawkaban. I saw 11 planets, right? I saw 11 planets. Washamsa wal qamara ra'aytuhum li sajidin. And the sun and the moon, I saw them prostrating to me. So our focus is here on the number Ahada Ashara Kawkaban. Kawkab is masculine, so that's why the number that has been used here is Ahada Ashara. And then Ahada Ashara is Mabni al-Fath, and Kawkaban is Mansub. It's the same example as Ahada Ashara Taliban, if you remember. So it's the same example as we learned over there, and then we have the same example here in the Quran as well. The rest of the construction, if I think we haven't learned about the use of if up till now. Qala, you know.
This is a conditional one.
Yeah, when.
When.
Yeah. And qala, we know that it's past tense, and it's Yusufu is the, here is the file. Yeah.
File.
And li abihi is, it's basically Abu, Aba, and Abi, because after lam, harf jar, we have to use the majroor one. So it is li abihi, and ya abati we have also learned. Inni, indeed I. Ra'aytu is the past of ra'a. It's number 13. And then ahad ashara kawkaban washamsa wal qamara ra'aytuhum li sajidin. So basically we have to focus here on the number ahad ashara kawkaban. So I believe inshallah most of the rest of the verse, you know everything about that. There is nothing that you don't know grammatically. Is there anything that we haven't learned so far? Sajidin here it's used as hal. We haven't seen or we haven't learned hal, but the only thing that we should know that hal is always mansub. Ra'aytuhum, I saw them, li, to me, sajidina, while they are prostrating to me. I saw them while they were prostrating to me. Yeah, and then the running translation will be I saw them prostrating to me. فَانْفَجَرَتْ مِنْهُ اثْنَتَا عَشْرَةَ عَيْنًا. Okay, why here it is اثْنَتَا عَشْرَةَ feminine for عَيْنًا?
Because the ayn is feminine.
What kind of feminine is this?
This is mijazi.
Majazi, like, or it's the one we can say the Arabs said so. Because
yes, the Arab version.
Yeah, it's aynan is when we use it for eyes, aynain or aynan, it is also feminine, by the way. And yes, and the plural is ayunun and uyunun. It has two plurals. It's the same on the pattern of ashhurun, af'ulun, and then we have ayunun, and it has also the plural is
but there's a linguistic miracle behind this, Ustad.
Yeah, it's like what I heard from one of the shuyukh. He said it's like
yes, when the spring is used, this one is used. When
both of them, like water comes out from both of them. So water comes from ayn, from the spring, and it also comes from the eyes as well. When someone is sad, so it's like this is the only relationship why it has been said as aynan. So ayn is whether it is a spring or it is an eye, it will be used as feminine. So that's why the number that we have here is ithnata ashrata aynan. So fanfajarat also
it agrees with the this thing because it acts as an adjective.
Yeah, madud agrees with the gender agrees for the madud and the adad. So fanfajarat, fajarat. What do you? What
female because
female.
of my
At least we know that. No, at least we know that ta sakina is for example, dhahabat, qalat, kharajat.
The
So
he
that
has
means it's,
status.
yeah, so we have
denote-
used for the feminine, yeah. So fanfajarat, it's like gushed, and minhu, from it, ithnata ashrata aynan, 12 springs. So then 12 springs gushed forth from it. So this is also clear, inshallah, as well, right? Okay, alhamdulillah. And then this is the same debate here, that the feminine of ahada is ihda. We have learned it, and similarly we have learned that ithnani, and it is ithnani, ithnaini, ithnaini. And we know that it is for the dual, and it is flexible, so it will be on the pattern of ani, aini, aini. Now we look at the numbers from, so the fifth one here is 19 number. So this is the series that we are learning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 19, we know that 19 is used as murakkab, and it is called murakkab. Maybe you will hear from someone, and then you might be confused. So this is called murakkab binai. I don't know why it has this name, but this is called murakkab binai. So when you will learn somewhere from some of the works from murakkabat, you might be thinking like, what kind of murakkab is this? So from 13 to 19, it's called murakkab binai, which is ahad ashara, and then we have thalathat ashara, arbat ashara, khamsat ashara, up to tisat ashara. This is the name of this. If you don't know, that's not a problem. Alayha tisat ashara, and what is mahdhuf here is malakan. There are 19 angels on it. Over it are 19 angels. So alayha refers to, ha refers to the,
Angels.
ha refers to the angels.
Oh no, Jahannam.
Jahannam, yeah.
Over the
Alayha.
hellfire.
Yeah, alayha tisat ashara malakan. There are 19
No,
angels
the
on it.
hellfire, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so ha refers to that. And tisat ashara, malak is basically masculine, and that's why the number that has been used is opposite, and it is feminine. So alayha tisat ashara malakan, and malakan is mahdhuf. It's from Suratul, you remember?
Mudassir, I think.
Mudassir.
Surah
Muddathir or
Yes.
Muzammil?
Mudaththir.
No,
okay.
no,
Mudassir.
Mudassir is that.
All
Mudassir.
right. And number 6, we have numbers from 20 to 80. Numbers from 20 to 80 are easy, we know that. Ishruna, Ishrina, Ishrina, right? So the pattern will be the same as we have learned already. So, قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة. 40 سنة, 40 years. He said that no doubt it is forbidden for them for 40 years. Muharramatun, can you figure out this construction?
Sabbaha.
Okay, excellent.
From two.
Then
From
it
two.
starts with mu. Okay, it's from two. Harrama yuharrimu tahriman. Okay.
Ism maf'ul.
Ismul maf'ul for feminine. Right?
Okay.
So muharrim is the one who makes something forbidden, and muharram is something that has
Something
been
which
made
is forbidden.
forbidden. And for muharramun, when we want to make it feminine, we will say muharramatun. For example, musabbahun, and then the feminine will be musabbahatun. So qala فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة. And we know that the ma'dud that comes after 40 will be singular, and it will be mansub, whether it is masculine or feminine. He said that no doubt it is forbidden for them for 40 years. Then we have فَجْلِدُوهُمْ 80 جَلْدَةً. Then lash them 80 lashes. So again, 80 is 80, and then it is used here as for numbers. Most of them, they are used as mansub. So fajliduhum, or we can say here it is because ijlidu is basically jalada yajlidu, it's fi'l al-amr, fajliduhum, and then it has maf'ul bihi hum, and also 80 jaldatan, then lash them 80 lashes. Here 80 jaldatan, if we have seen here that the numbers from 20 to 80, they are also used as tamiz, the numbers from 20 to 80. So 40 sanatan, and we know that tamiz or tamiz is always, we haven't learned about it, but I'm just giving you some idea that they are always used as mansub. So 40 sanatan wa 80 jaldatan, they are used here as tamiz, and tamiz is always mansub. I think it's mentioned somewhere here as well in this document. If you go through this document, inshallah, you will find it. Then number 7, we have numbers 99. Okay, so we are not discussing like how it is used because we have discussed about it many times. However, when we see here in the Quran, inshallah, we will get a clear idea. Inna hadha akhi lahu tis'un wa tis'una na'jatan. Okay, tis'un wa tis'una na'jatan. 99 eaves. Okay, 99. So why it is tis'un wa tis'una? Why not tis'atun wa tis'una?
Najatun, because of Najatun.
Excellent. Naja is feminine, so that's why it will be opposite. The first part and the last one will be opposite in gender. So that's why it is tis'un wa tis'una najatan waliya najatun wahidatun. Okay, and for me, one eve. Okay, okay. So najatun wahidatun. Why we have, or why wahidatun is over there? Wasuf sifa. Najatun wahidatun, and for me is one eve, female sheep. So this is also clear, right?
Yes,
99, and then also
the first part, because the first part disagrees, right, Ustad?
That's right. Yeah, it will definitely disagree. If we have masculine here, then the number will be feminine, and if the madud is feminine, then the number will be masculine.
Masculine.
And number 8, we have numbers from 100 to 200. Please let me know when you get tired so that we can stop. فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ مِيَةَ عَامٍ ثُمَّ بَعْثَهُ. Okay, now you see here. مِيَةَ عَامٍ, right? So as we have learned, yeah,
it will be mudafile.
Yes, so miyatu or miyata or miyati, it will change according to the amil. Because here it is maful bihi or maful fihi. So فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ مِيَةَ عَامٍ ثُمَّ بَعْثَهُ. Amatahu, amata. Can you figure out what kind of,
to die.
which form is this?
Mata.
Now, this is not mata. It's not mata, you see. It starts with hamza. You should remember that there is only one, there is one verb form only that starts with hamza.
Ara, Ustad?
La. The first you reached, and now we have to always look at the past. Yes.
Aslama.
Aslama yuslimu islaman. Aslama yuslimu islaman. Amata yumitu imatatan. So amata yumitu, huwa yuhyi wa yumit. He gives life and he gives death. Fa'amatahu. Okay, so mata yamutu means to die, but amata yumitu means to give.
No, this is a different construction like ra'a and ara.
La. It starts with hamza. If you take out the hamza, it starts with fa. If you take out fa, it starts with hamza.
Ra'a is to see. Ara
is to show.
See or something like that. No, Ustad?
That one is like it will become complicated because we have ra'a, then we have ara.
Okay, akhbara, like
akhbara yukhbir akhbara. Aslama yuslim islaman, the one that we have, and the one that we have learned as the standard one, which is aslama yuslimu islaman, or af'ala yuf'ilu if'alan. So fa'amatahu Allahu. So of course, this kind of verbs, like the fourth form of the verb, which is aslama yuslimu islaman, normally it requires two, or it requires mafulain, as we discussed earlier. So who is the first one, and miyata amin is the second one, and lafdhul jalala is of course the fa'il. So amata is the fa'il, and lafdhul jalala is the fa'il, and who, we know that the attached pronouns come before the fa'il. They always come before the fa'il. So fa'amatahu, so Allah caused him to die. Fa'amatahu, he caused him to die. Who? Allahu. Allah caused him to die. Miyata amin, 100 years. Thumma ba'athahu, and then he brought him back to life. Ba'atha yab'athu, ba'atha is the first form of the verb. That is not difficult to figure out.
So can you please repeat this thing? They require mafulain. So
mafulain, yes.
Who is maful bihi 1, and
yes.
Miyata amin is maful bihi 2?
Athani, yes, that's right.
where is the other maful?
Who is the one, and Miyata Amin is the second.
Miyata Amin will be
Maful
taken as-
fihi, yeah, and it is also, we can take it as both. It's like, it's always when we talk about the time and place, so it will be always, it will always be mansub, right? So it is mansub, either it is mansub because of being maful bihi or maful fihi.
Okay.
However, we know that amata yumitu imatatan, or all yani a'ta yuti i'taan, to give something to someone. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthara. So if also it requires two, it requires maf'ulan. A'tayna, we gave ka
Who
you.
and what?
Yeah, we gave you, yes, who and what. So a'tayna, we gave ka you al-kawthara al-kawthar. So we gave you al-kawthar. So it requires two, who and what, as you said. Okay. And then we have fi kulli sumbulatin miyatu habbatin. In each ear is 100 grains. Okay. Okay, so miyatu habbatin. Why it is here marfu? Try to figure out.
It's Mubtada Muakkar.
It's Mubtada.
Sumbulatin is
This is
some
Mubtada.
nominal
This is
sentence.
It's a nominal sentence, perfect.
Sentence.
And we know that whenever we see jar majroor in the beginning of the sentence, and that means
Emphasis.
that, yeah, it is for emphasis. And then we also know that it is khabar because it cannot be mubtada, and it is muqaddam, it has been brought forward, and mubtada is muakhar, which has been brought back. So fi kulli sumbulatin miyatu habbatin, in each year is 100 grains. I think it's enough till here. So we have reached up to 100. Looking at the numbers in the Quran, and inshallah, we will definitely, inshallah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, complete the numbers that have been used in the Quran. So in case you are not able to learn all the numbers, including myself, if it's difficult to memorize or learn all the numbers that we have in the book, we still don't need to worry about that, because alhamdulillah, the numbers that occurred in the Quran, we know them, we understand them, and that is our target, and inshallah we will also be able to memorize them. If you have already memorized, if you are Hafid al-Quran, that's alhamdulillah, and if not, like we are trying to memorize as well, so that is good for us as well. It's always ni'mah, because every word of the Quran, every harf of the Quran, whether we recite it, we learn it, or we teach it, we get hasanat for that. So this is the best time in our lives that we are spending, inshallah ta'ala. And tomorrow, I hope you don't forget, we will also, inshallah, recontinue our process of the forms of the verb, extended forms of the verb, so that you don't forget them.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So hopefully we might add one form as well. So inshallah, we will try to reach number 6. I didn't want to distract you or myself as well, because it's very important to focus on the numbers, because numbers are they are a little bit challenging. I wouldn't say impossible, but they are a little bit challenging. All right. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa
Assalamu
barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa iyyakum.